So today I'm going to do a basic tutorial on how to create a screwdriver. So this is for people that are just first starting off in Maya. This is what I learned from my teacher. First time I ever did 3D animation. So what we're just basically going to do is, first thing is, you got to go up to File, Project Window, and click New. So this is going to be called Screw. Makes sense. Then you go back to File, Set Project, Screwdriver, because it's going to save to default if you don't set it. Okay. Next thing you want to do is click right here where it says animation. Select the polygons. As you can see, this changes up here. And the first thing you want to do is hit create polygons cylinder. So what we're going to do is create the handle first. Okay. So 3 basic things that you need to know if you don't know yet is how to rotate, translate, and resize. So W allows you to move your X, Y, and Z axis. And then E allows you to rotate in all 3 axes. And R allows you to resize in all axes, or all 3 at the same time if you click the center. Same thing goes with the square box. And then if you grab the outer yellow line, it allows you to rotate on all freedoms. So what you want to do is take the X axis and rotate that 90 degrees. Just so we know it's perfect. Next, what you want to do is basically too much. Okay. Sorry about that. So, next thing you gotta know is 4 shortcuts on the number pad. 1 basically gets rid of smoothness. So if you press 3 right now, you can see it's smoothed out. If you press 1, that's how you get back to non-smooth. Whenever you do any work, it's better to do it in non-smooth, so your geo is all correct, which you'll learn later on why that's important. If you press 5, it basically takes it out of what they call wireframe mode and put it into shaded. So now you can actually see the color, the object. Same thing, you always, if you're adding edge loops, you're selecting vertices or anything with selection, the best ways to do it in wireframe mode, just because it makes sure that you're actually only selecting that piece of the object or that vertice. Also helps make sure your geo doesn't get messed up, which sometimes can be pain in the butt because you don't realize it right away and you have to undo it. So now we got this cylinder here. So what you do is go up to where it says edit mesh, Oops, sorry about that. Insert edge loop, and it still didn't go to the one I want. There we go. And we're just going to throw a couple edge loops on here. It doesn't matter where you put them because you can relocate them later. I'm just going to guesstimate where I want it exactly. So well, I want one here, here, and there, and no, I don't want that last one. So I'm just going to do these three for now. So now what we're going to do is if you right click on the wireframe correctly, you get an option. What you want to select now is edge, and that basically allows you, oops, that allows you to delete that again. Basically what that allows you to do is to select the edge. So if you double click, it selects the whole entire edge, which makes this job so much more easier instead of selecting vertices. You could either do vertex too and just highlight that if you prefer that way. Really doesn't matter, both do the same thing. I like the vertex way because to me it's easier. So what you want to do is use R, and you just want to rescale this. And basically you're trying to create the shape of a screwdriver. So if you press F5 right now to make it solid, and press F3, this is the shape that we have currently going on. So we pretty much got this handle going on. I'm going to bulge this out a bit. Too much. I'm going to shrink it down a bit. Just to give it more of a screwdriver feel and look. Insert. I don't know what happened. So now you got this going on. What's cool is basically we're pretty much almost done. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is just make a couple adjustments to the basically just make this one more bolder. Add another one. So when you smooth it out and you look in the object mode, basically when you put your edge loops closer together, this happens. You have more sharper edge. So right now I got like 3, so it looks more sharper in the front. So it looks more like a screwdriver's front. This one, it's more like a back. So now what you want to do is basically create the center cylinder. There's 2 ways you could do this. You can either build it right on the grid or build it right on here. You learn how to build on the object in the future. Right now we're just going to build this cylinder on the grid. And then what you want to do is hit create polygons, cylinder, and then basically you want to make this really long because the screwdriver is pretty long. And the majority of this goes inside the thing. So we're going to revolve this 90 degrees also. So let's move this out the way real quick while we go work on this. So what we're going to do is basically turn this cylinder into a screwdriver, a flathead. So what we use is our edge loops again. So you go to edit mesh, insert edge loops. This one's a little bit harder to do. So edge loop here, edge loop here. One right here for the transition down. So now what we use, this is why using vertex is comes a little bit more in handy. So what we're going to do is start with the first one. We'll start with this guy right here. So we're just going to highlight this wireframe, scale, and rotate this a bit. Actually, what we're going to start off doing actually is making the tip. So we're going to squash these down. Height wise. Bring this up a bit. This guy. Just for now. So when you take off shaders and all that, right now Still doesn't look like a screwdriver, but it will. So right now this is what you got. So it's starting to form. It'll come in a lot better once you tweak this part. So now what you want to do is, screwdriver gets big in the center. So what you want to do is rotate a little bit so you can see it. Basically you just want to stretch these vertices out. And then what you want to do is elongate these vertices. So what you want to do is this out. Sure. So since these aren't pinched up front and stuff, it looks pretty funny. So what you want to do is move these out. So you extend this out a little bit more, not too much, and then resize them to become flat. And then what you want to do to make that sharp edge, do the same exact thing. So you take off smoother, you create more edge loops. Before we do that, gotta take care of this. So we gotta because on the screwdriver, it's a little bit like that. So you screw it out, it looks like that. And this guy, screwdriver, it's a little bit thinner, not too much. So if I put this in object mode just so you can see this real quick. As you can see, it looks like a flathead's front. I'm going to give it a little bit more details to make it look better. So I'm going to take off the smoothing, get our edge loop tool, zoom a little bit. So we're going to make this one sharper, and this crease mark sharper. So one here, one there, sharpen, object mode. So see, we made this sharp crease mark right here, which is really nice. Now, since I created a second edge loop, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the vertex again. This is where it gets a little tricky. So this is why we use wireframe once again. Trick is to get all these vertices, but not the ones behind it. I think I got it. So, let's control. Let's flatten it out. Oops, what's going on? That's not supposed to happen. So if this happens, don't worry, I'm just going to remove the edge loops I created. Okay. So I'm going to shrink this down now. So if this happens, so if you hold down the space bar, it allows you to change view. I'm just going to go in the front view real quick. I want to make sure my geo looks pretty decent, not too bad. Let me check the side view. Basically, I just want to make sure everything lines up. The front. Okay, so it does. So we go back to perspective view. So when I smooth this out, I kind of don't like the whole back half thing. So what we're gonna do is just shrink these ones down a little bit better. Make sure I'm only capturing these vertices. I'm going to shrink this down a little bit more here, and a little bit more in. And rotate that, see how it looks. I like how that looks. It looks a lot better. So to make this edge loop again, we're just going to do this. Make this one. See, we're going to make one out here again. I was right. I did need one. And we're just going to make these guys, this guy really strong. Select edge. Oops. Got to take over. Go back to selecting. Hit W. So if you use the edge tool, it allows you to move these closer together, so you could get more of a sharper crease mark. The closer these get, the better it is. Want to at least around there. This guy, I was using him for. So I'm going to take these vertexes. make the effect on this side. So we're just gonna shrink. So now you got your head. So we got the front part done. Rear, got do a little touch up. So we're just gonna go back to what we were doing. Vertex. So this needs to come down a little bit more, just to form the body. But I'm gonna unsmooth this. Oops. Wow. That shows you how crazy smoothing does, how much it works. Okay, and what I'm going to do is now the edge. See what this looks like. I like the head. I don't like what I'm using for the separator, so I'm just going to delete that for now. It doesn't look that good. So I'm basically just start all over again. Right here, I'm just going to redo these. So we're just going to delete these out. And then you go in vertex mode and delete all these vertices. So now you got clean geometry. So those were too far back. That's why I didn't like them. So what I'm going to do is take each loop and insert edge loops again. I'm going to do it a little bit closer to the back of the screen. I'm just going to sharpen this up. Ah, come on. Oh, it's so hard to do this on a trackpad. No, it should be fine. Let me see what it looks like. Take this off. Put it on object mode. Now it wants to work. So With animation, you need a lot of patience with it, especially when you're modeling, just because it's so time consuming. You gotta basically just keep on going and going at it until you actually like what it looks like. So we're going to make this head a little bit more sharper so you can see uh, the inclines are going to be sharper and everything. That's what we're going to do now. What you do is just basically insert edge loops still. Hit a mesh, insert edge loops. So we're going to insert one here, insert one here, and insert one here. See what that looks like now. So now you got more of an incline. So basically, right here, where it's rounding off, I need to make that sharper. So we're going to go back to edge mode, press 1. And there's edge loop tool. Controls. I'm just making it a little bit more flatter. Get these vertex, move these in a little bit, a little out, just get a more better effect to me. So I like how this looks. See the inclines. Oh, that looks like a real screwdriver. So now what you want to do down here is the vertex mode. Just basically shrink these down to match the rest of that body on the other side. And then you want to just extrude these out a little bit more, because this isn't going to be long enough for a screwdriver. Okay. Now after you get that done, you basically set it back to object mode. And then first thing is you go into side view. So there's two ways you can do this. You can move this up, zoom out a bit, and then move this guy down, or you get to move the screwdriver piece more. So I'm just going to do F. We'll go in wireframe mode real quick. It's a screwdriver. And then next thing we're going to do, we're going to go in front view, make sure it was centered. Oops. Yeah, if you press spacebar once, it takes you and allows you to select your views right here. So it's a pretty cool, nifty thing. If you hold down V, it activates snap to points. So what we're going to try to do, actually let me move this out over a little bit. So we're going to put hold it in the center, press V. It's fudgy. One. Bam. So now it's absolutely centered. And then when you take it off front view and make sure it looks good sideways. It does. And then we go back to perspective. So now I'm take it off of wireframe mode. You got your screwdriver. So now you got your screwdriver. You can add any other tweaks that you want to do to make it look a lot better. But I'm kind of happy. Usually when you do projects like this, you do a lot of saves. So every single tweak you do, you just save the project. It just makes it easier. So we're going to save this as save scene as finished. And that's it for your first basic lesson on how to use Maya for the 3D modeling. Very, very simple modeling. Just keep on working on it because you get better and better the more you do it. I could even tweak this up a little bit more to make it look better and stuff, but I'm kind of happy with the basic look I have right now. And I hope this helped.